Well, it's been a while since I've been out here. I took a few months off from my trips because we had a baby girl. And now that the dust is kind of settling from that, I wanted to get back out here for a quick day trip, do a little shakedown run, and test out some of this new gear, which I also want to show you in this video. So let's get into it. This is all going to be primarily overland bed stuff. So the bed of the Tacoma has really been my focus over the last, I guess, couple months, but I've added a lot of stuff that really has kind of reduced the friction. At least that's my intent when it comes to camping. So without further delay, I guess I'm just gonna start from inside the bed and then work my way out here on some of this other setup stuff. I installed a bed rug. And so I've actually been wanting to do this for a very long time. I had Milwaukee pack out systems in here, like a pack out plate, which was mounted to the floor, and then those camping bins wouldn't go anywhere, but it only covered, you know, the Milwaukee plates. And so I really have been kind of wanting to add something like this to kind of dust proof a little bit some of these areas that allow a lot of dust in, make it comfortable, make things a little bit more grippy. Like you can see, like on the way up here, I just kind of had stuff sitting in its spot and everything kind of stayed put on the trail. And so that is one of the really big pluses for the bed rugs. Now, I also envision myself possibly on trips in the future, maybe sleeping like right here. It's probably not going to happen while I got the tire in here, and we'll get into that in a second, but I envision myself maybe someday sleeping inside the truck when it's just me. When I got the whole family, I've got the ginormous terra firma rooftop tent, but if it's just me on like a one-nighter, I don't know, it might be cool to set up something to sleep in here. And so that's all been part of it. I really like how it turned out. I did have to make some cuts to be able to reinstall my bed stiffeners, which are a must with a setup like mine. And things didn't fit exactly the way I wanted to. I kind of messed up this corner right here over by that other pocket. But besides that, really nice fit, except for that side. It's possible that they sent me the 3rd gen Tacoma bed rug because on it said like 2016 something or other Tacoma, and I'm like, I think they sent me the wrong one. But man, by the time I realized it, I was almost pretty much done with this, and I'm like, whatever, it's fine. And so besides that, I really like it. It wasn't too expensive. I think it ran me around $400 or something like that for the bed rug, and the install itself, it took like maybe 2 hours. It wasn't too bad. Also back here, I mounted the WILCO spare tire carrier, which mounts to the rear bed rails. That was a really easy install, and I think I picked it up for like 200 bucks off of OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, something like that. And that's gonna be my short-term solution for my 35-inch spare when in the near future I add the 35s to the truck, because the 35 will not fit underneath the truck. And I also, when I did that, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but the spare tire system that drops it, I'm forgetting the word right now, but I uninstalled that. So in the future, I may be able to mount something like an air tank or a water system underneath the truck utilizing that space, but that is that. Okay, now I also totally redid this electrical panel. I put new outlets on here. Like right here, you're gonna see I've got USB-C and USB-A outlets, and these have a button so I can, when I'm not using them, turn them off, turn them on. I mounted 2 of these on here. I also mounted a regular dual USB outlet and then 2 12-volt standard outlets where I can run the fridge or power a power bank through that outlet system. So for me, the main event here is the fridge and the slide. This is the ICO JP50 Pro. ICO had reached out to me and wanted to do a partnership. This is the fridge that I chose, and just being honest here, you guys, this is the fridge that I would have bought even if they wouldn't have reached out to me. Getting a new fridge was like at the top of my list this summer, and really kind of the inspiration behind what I've all done back here. I thought if I was gonna redo the bed, I knew I was gonna mount a fridge slide, I might as well get the bed rug, and it was just like, if I'm gonna do the bed of the truck, I'm gonna do it all at once. And so that is kind of what inspired all of this. The JP50 Pro's a pretty efficient fridge, and it's on the Pro Series, the JP Series slide. What's really cool about this is it's got a super thin profile. And so with that really thin profile, it just leaves so much room in the bed of the truck. Kind of like I said, I've left enough room. If I wanted to in the future, I could sleep on this side with a new sleep system. I purchased a new sleep system, which will work in here. And then on this side, I purposely left a ton of room for all the electronic stuff that I have to deal with, like all the camera equipment that needs to be charged. I left this space big enough to store a power bank. And so this is how I wanted to mount the fridge, and now I don't really need to worry about it anymore. The slide has got 2 pull-out points, so it stops there and can go all the way there. And I just have super easy access to what's inside. Now I went with the 50, and so it's a little bit taller, but I mean, that's what I need for my family. They also have a dual zone 40. This one is a single zone. You got a nice little screen right here, and then you can open it actually from either side or remove the lid completely. Don't have much in here because I'm just out for the night, but pretty cool that it includes all that. And then the slide is just super buttery smooth, stops at that location and all the way in. Just really makes bringing a fridge a lot less of a hassle. So really stoked about that, and thanks ICO for sending it out. Stay tuned for that review video. It should be out pretty soon. Let's kind of talk about the rest of this stuff. As you can see, I added an awning. If you were paying attention to some of my trip videos last year, one of the problems that I really seem to have when we would hit adverse weather is this tailgate has been like my work area, and it just wasn't sheltered from the rain or the snow or hot weather. And so I installed a very budget-friendly awning. This is the ARB touring awning, and this is the very first time I've actually set it up. So pretty easy setup, pretty affordable, $250. Now the way I actually mounted this thing was actually to the rooftop tent. As you can kind of see right here, I've got some L brackets that are mounted to the T channels on the rooftop tent. Ordered these brackets off of Amazon, and I have enough overhang over my front runner roof rack that I had enough space to mount it to the rooftop tent. This is the reason why I did that. As you can kind of see, the camper shell hatch goes pretty high up there. If I would have mounted it to the front runner roof rack, I just wouldn't have had the clearance, and I just wanted to make sure I had that clearance there. I was a little bit sketched out, but I thought, you know, no better way to find out if this is going to be something that works or not than to do a little shakedown run today like I did, and everything held up super fine. The mounting is great. I don't know what else to say about the awning. It's definitely not the most exciting awning in the world, but I think it just kind of works for what I've got going on right now. Another thing you may see is this front runner table. Now this is the, I think, front runner collaboration with Dometic Pro Prep table, which I think is skinnier than their camp table, a little bit longer, and it is like $100 cheaper than the front runner camp table. And so that is why I went with this. Most expensive camp table I'll ever buy in my life. But I needed something that was quick, easy deployment, and then I didn't have to store in the bed of the truck because I just don't have the room with like the kiddos and the stuff that we're doing. And so that actually mounts right here underneath the front runner roof rack, and this little lock mounts it in place, and it just kind of slides into these slides that I've mounted to the front runner roof rack, and super easy deployment, really easy to set up, super happy with it. The other thing that you'll notice here are new camping bins. Now I'll probably cover this and what's in them in a future video, because in addition to doing the back, I actually replaced pretty much all of my camping gear. And so lots of stuff that we'll be covering in the future. But for bins, I actually still have the tags on them, it looks like. I went with Plano cases, bought them from Home Depot. They're like 25 bucks. So super cheap. They've got the room that I need. One is camp utility, and so that kind of lives under the tailgate. So, you know, your paper towels, just your random utility type items. And then the other one is going to be camp kitchen. And so I think the size works really well. And then I slide them in and I just store them right back there in front of the tire behind the fridge. And so it just works. And so really excited about that. While we're at it, I do have also a new camp light, which I'm excited to test out tonight as it gets darker. This thing has got some magnetic feet. And so it attaches to the stainless steel camp table, and then it has this telescoping light. Let's see, give me 1 second. Okay, so telescoping light that has an adjustable direction head. And so my thought process behind it was I can shine it towards my camp stove and have a lot of light illumination on my camp stove, or I can shine it and have it reflect off the awning and have some general lighting back here. And so overall, really happy with the workspace. I think the setup is going to work out really well, and I can't wait to get out to Utah, which I think we're doing next week. Now, in addition to this video, which I just did covering all the updates to the truck, I'm also doing a little bit of a short trip video. And so if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm in a beautiful, beautiful campsite. And so I'm gonna get back to my evening, cook up some dinner, have a campfire, and just enjoy being out here again. Thank you guys for sticking around and staying tuned and all that kind of stuff. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.